What's good, cuz? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm bringing you guys my first fantasy football video on the channel. So if you guys are new to the channel, it's the first video you're seeing from me, please do me a favor, hit that like button and the subscribe button if you guys are new. I would greatly appreciate it. But today's video, we are doing the top 12 running backs in fantasy football for the 2021-22 season. So if you guys are excited for the video, please do me a favor, hit that like button and the subscribe button as well. But without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get it.
Minica, watch me on Twitch, ooh, I'm streaming. I'm on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, red button beaming. Let's get that sub count, take over YouTube, ooh, we teaming. My content so hot, ooh, yeah, I'm steaming. Ooh, yeah, I'm steaming, red button beaming.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go top 12 fantasy football running backs for the 2021-22 season. Obviously, these can change by the time that the season rolls around. I will be doing an updated ranking probably about August before the season kicks off, like I do with my NFL predictions videos by the division. We will probably redo all these fantasy football rankings videos by the time the season starts, just to get a more accurate prediction, but these are what I think they're going to be at this point in time in March of 2021. So let's get things started with a couple honorable mentions. First, I am going to mention David Montgomery, a guy for the Chicago Bears who finished inside the top 5 in PPR formats last year. I don't think he's a very good running back, or the Bears are a very good offense, so I don't expect him to repeat this again next year. He did turn it up like the last few games of the season, but I don't think that's something that's momentum that's going to be able to be carried into the next year unless they get somebody like Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson that could open up the passing game to open up the run for David Montgomery a little bit. They were one of the worst teams in rushing the first like half of the season, so for them to go into next season and just fully expect for David Montgomery to be a beast right out of the gate, I don't think so. I don't think that's quite going to be it. I think he could be a very serviceable RB2, maybe like the 15 to 18 running back range, but I don't think he's going to be in the top 12 this year for the running back rankings. Next, we have Antonio Gibson of the Washington football team, another good player. I think he has great upside, great potential, can catch the ball, can run the ball. Just want to see a little bit more of a consistent workload there in Washington, see what that offense is going to give him next year, but he's a guy that can sneak into the top 12 probably like the middle of the year. One last honorable mention we're going to have today is going to be Josh Jacobs of the Las Vegas Raiders. I think this guy can also get into the top 12. He just gets a consistent workload, maybe scores some more touchdowns and gets involved in the passing game a little bit more. They have a very good offense there in Las Vegas. Just want to see him turn it around a little bit from that sophomore season that he had. He had a decent season by any means, but I would like to see him just get a little bit more in there. But those three guys, honorable mentions. Now let's move on to our top 12. So to start off our top 12 running backs for the 2021-22 season, we're going to start things off with the Los Angeles Rams running back in Cam Akers, somebody who finished 45th last year in PPR scoring formats. All rankings from last year will be done in PPR scoring because we will be doing these rankings for the PPR format for next year. So he finished 45th, but that's because he did not get a lot of touches the first 10 weeks of the season, being a rookie, being in a committee with Darrell Henderson and Malcolm Brown. This man was not seeing a lot of touches up until around week 12, where he finally started to get about 20 plus touches a game, and this man showed up. He had about 20 points per game in the games that he started with 20 plus touches. That includes the playoff games against the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers as well. Now he's also involved in the passing game as well as the rushing game, so you get a little bit of upside on both ends of the ball there. He's not going to go out there and get you, 5 catches a game, but he'll be able to get you like 15 rush attempts and maybe 2 or 3 receptions a game, which is pretty nice. One thing about Cam Akers that we want to know, though, will he have the backfield to himself next year? Will they bring him back into committee with Malcolm Brown, Darrell Henderson? Will they have those guys next year? Will they cut one of them? Will they trade one of them because they have now Cam Akers? Will they give him 20 plus touches a game so he can become that workhorse running back that he's meant to be and can be a top 12 running back if they allow him to do that? Or will they put him back in a committee? If he's in a committee, he will not be a top 12 running back because he will not have the workload to be so. But if he gets the, all the touches himself, all the receptions, all the carries himself, then he probably will be a top 12 running back. I have him here at number 12. Also, you have Matthew Stafford coming to the team, so that offense should get a little boost in firepower. Could lead to a positive game script for him. Could mean a lot more rushing attempts for Cam Akers late in games to just run out the clock, and that could lead to more fantasy points. Up next at number 11, we have J.K. Dobbins of the Baltimore Ravens, a guy who finished as number 24 in running back rankings for PPR scoring. But last year, same thing as Cam Akers, kind of. They had Mark Ingram, they had Gus Edwards, and they had J.K. Dobbins, a running back by committee. But this time, the Ravens are the number 1 rushing team in the entire league. Looks like Mark Ingram will be joining the Houston Texans next year, and that means that there will be more touches for J.K. Dobbins next year, which should lead to him getting an improvement in scoring. So like I said, no more Mark Ingram in Baltimore next year. He will be part of the Houston Texans. So hopefully J.K. Dobbins will be seeing 15 to 20 touches on the ground next year. I think it's very, very possible. We'll see if they use him around the goal line. Only thing about the Ravens is that Lamar Jackson's obviously going to get his rushes as well. Could steal some goal line carries from J.K. Dobbins, which could stink when it comes down to later in the games. If you don't get the touchdown, could be the difference between losing your week or winning your week. But we'll hopefully see J.K. Dobbins get a lot of goal line, red zone carries, and hopefully, he'll be a top 12 running back next year. I have him at number 11. Up next at number 10, we have Mr. PPR himself. Maybe not as much as Alvin Kamara, but we have Austin Ekeler of the Los Angeles Chargers, a guy who's going to go out there and get you a ton of receptions every game, a ton of targets. You know this man is going to be targeted in the passing game. Hopefully next year he can get a little bit more rushing work. That's how he can prove probably on being number 10 here, and that'll be the difference between maybe him being number 10 and number 6 or 7. If he gets more rushing work, gets more touches on the ground, maybe some more rushing touchdowns as well. We'll see if Joshua Kelly, Kalen Ballage, I know was on the team last year when Austin Ekeler was injured, so we'll see what their backfield looks like in Los Angeles next year. But as long as he's getting those PPR touches for you in the passing game, should be okay. He finished as running back 26 last year in PPR scoring formats, and that's with him missing 6 weeks last year. So if he played the full season, he definitely would have been within the top 12 running backs, I would imagine, in the league last year in PPR scoring formats. We'll see what happens with Justin Herbert. That man is big, so he can get some goal line carries as well. He's a little bit mobile, so he can steal some touchdowns from Austin Ekeler around the goal line. But inside the red zone, I definitely think that Austin Ekeler will see his share of receptions as well as rushing attempts. But I have Austin Ekeler at number 10. At number 9, we're going to have a guy from the Jacksonville Jaguars, a rookie last year who finished at number 7 in PPR scoring formats, and I am talking about James Robinson. This man was a workhorse for the Jacksonville Jaguars on a very bad football team, that was able to get the number 1 overall pick in this year's draft. They will be selecting Trevor Lawrence, so he's going to have a very, very talented quarterback to go with him now in Jacksonville. So hopefully that could lead to some more games where there'll be a positive game script for him, maybe winning some more games, could lead to more touchdown upside. He was getting 25 touches a week last year, which is what you want to see from your running back. When you get 25 touches from a running back on any given week, that is absolutely awesome. That is what you want to see. But like I said, hopefully Trevor Lawrence will be able to get this man a couple more touchdowns from being in more competitive games than what they were last year. He's involved in the rushing game, involved in the passing game, a very good amount for both of those. So I have James Robinson at number 9. At number 8, we have one of the best rushing running backs in the National Football League. And from the Cleveland Browns, we have Nick Chubb at number 8. This man is probably either the second or third best actual rusher in the league. He's not better than Derrick Henry, but I'd say he's either 2 or 3 in the league in actual pure rushing. The only thing that stinks and keeps him at number 8 is that Kareem Hunt is in the backfield still with him. Will steal some carries from him, will steal some touches from him in the passing and the running game. Could even steal some touchdowns from him like we saw last year. Hunt finished as number 10 as PPR scoring formats, and Chubb finished at number 11. Chubb was hurt 4 games, so if he was able to play those 4 games, he probably would have finished like 6 or 7, and Hunt probably would have finished around 15th, 16th. Probably dropped him a few spots and upgrade Chubb up a little bit if he didn't get hurt at all. But he is their main man there in Cleveland. Kareem Hunt doesn't mean that Nick Chubb will not be able to be a top 10 running back for you. They can coexist, both get their touches and both be productive in the passing and running game. You would like to see Nick Chubb get a little more passing work. He only averages about 2 to 3 targets a game with 1 or 2 receptions a game. You would like to see him get a little bit more work through the air there. That would help, especially in PPR scoring formats. But he does get the majority of red zone and goal line carries, which is what you want to see. He is a touchdown machine. He will get you those touchdowns on the ground and sometimes even through the air. But I have Nick Chubb at number 8. Let's move on to the next one. All right, at number 7, we are going to have from the Dallas Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott. Now, I was very conflicted between him and Nick Chubb for the number 7, number 8 spot, but I'm going to give it to Ezekiel Elliott for the sole reason this man was performing like a top 3, top 4 running back when Dak Prescott was in the lineup. He averaged over 20 points per game with Dak in the lineup. He finished 9th in PPR overall scoring, which is pretty good still, with Dak missing about 11 games last year. He scored 4 touchdowns when Andy Dalton was at quarterback, and when you had Ben DiNucci, all those guys, whoever else started for the Dallas Cowboys last year, don't even remember. And he had 7 touchdowns in 5 games with Dak Prescott. So if Dak did not get hurt, Ezekiel Elliott probably would have been a top 4, top 5 running back once again. So I'm going to put Ezekiel Elliott at number 7. Obviously, he's not as explosive as he once was. I think Tony Pollard's honestly more explosive than he is, but he's going to get the most touches. He's going to get 20 plus touches a week. He gets involved in the passing game and the run game, and he gets all the goal line carries. So I'm putting Ezekiel Elliott at number 7. At number 6, we have Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor exploded halfway through the season last year. The first 10 weeks of the season, this man was looking like a bust. He was getting under 10 fantasy points like per week on a very regular basis, besides maybe 1 or 2 games in the first 10 weeks last year. Then they started giving him 20 plus touches a week, and that was a good idea by the Indianapolis Colts. The coaching staff finally smartened up and said, give this man 20 plus touches a week. Then he looked like an absolute stud. He finished 6th in the league last year's PPR scoring despite that terrible start. First 10 weeks of the season, he had 7 touchdowns in 7 weeks as the workhorse through the air and on the ground, 20 plus touches a week. And now with Carson Wentz, I think the Colts are still a run-first offense. Let Carson Wentz game manage. He is not going to be able to make as many plays through the air as he once was. Just let him game manage. Give the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Let him run it. Let him catch it. Let him do whatever he needs to do, because this man is a stud. You have a top 6 running back on your team. Gets passing and running work. I got Jonathan Taylor at number 6. All right, now coming in at number 5, we have from the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon Barkley obviously finished 120th last year in PPR scoring, but that is because he only played 2 games due to tearing his ACL against the Chicago Bears. Obviously, this guy is probably a top 5, top 6 overall talent. If he comes back 100% healthy, he is the best Giants offensive player by a long shot. The offense goes through him. He is the workhorse of that team. He's going to get 20 plus carries a week. He's going to get work in the passing game. He's going to probably get about 25 touches a week if he is 100% healthy. And with his potential, this man is a top 3, top 2 running back option in PPR formats. If he comes back healthy, I have him at number 5 right now, but before the season starts, he might move up to top 3, top 2. Coming in at number 4, we have the top scoring PPR running back last year. We have Alvin Kamara from the New Orleans Saints, and he dropped all the way down to number 4, and that is because Drew Brees will not be the quarterback next year. He has announced his retirement, which means he will not be getting check down passes every 5 seconds to Alvin Kamara, and Alvin Kamara cannot get as many receptions as he probably would if Drew Brees was starting. It looks like Taysom Hill is going to be the guy this year, and with Taysom Hill at the helm, Alvin Kamara did not get as many receptions as he normally would with Drew Brees. We're really going to have to see how many receptions he gets in the passing game this year. I'm sure he will still be in the passing game a lot. Just don't think it's going to be as much as he was, and he was getting a lot of points through the air because he does not get a lot of rushing attempts. He gets probably about 11 to 13 rushing attempts a game. They have Latavius Murray. That man is good through the tackles, so we'll see what they do with Alvin Kamara. Will he get more running game work? Will he keep the amount of passing volume that he normally gets? If he does, then he has top 2, top 1 potential, obviously like he did last year, but we have to wait and see. I'm not going to take him with my first 3 picks. I'd probably take him at number 4. We'll see what they do with Alvin. At number 3, we have from the Tennessee Titans, King Derrick Henry, and we have the rushing champion once again, over 2,000 yards rushing. Welcome to the 2,000 club. Derrick Henry finished 3rd last year in PPR scoring, and this man is barely involved in the passing game, but I am not worried at all. If I have the 3rd pick, I will take Derrick Henry 100%. This man gets over 25 touches a game. He is a touchdown machine. He doesn't see a lot of targets, but it doesn't matter because he's getting you touchdowns. He's getting you so many touches a game. You need to have him on your fantasy football team. He is the best rusher in the National Football League. A guy with his size, his strength could break 90-yard touchdown runs. That is unheard of. I have Derrick Henry at number 3. All right, guys, 2 more running backs left. We have the top 2 to go. If you're enjoying the video, please do me a favor and hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Thank you guys again for 700 subscribers. Greatly appreciate that. If this is the first video you're seeing from me, you want more fantasy football content, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and I will bring you guys more fantasy football content, but comment down below who you guys think will be the number 1 running back and the number 2 running back. But here you go at number 2. This man finally goes up in the rankings. He's been taken at number 5, number 6, number 7 the last few years, and he's finally in the top 2 where he belongs. And I'm talking about Dalvin Cook from the Minnesota Vikings. This man is a beast. No more injuries. He misses maybe 1 or 2 games a year, but it doesn't matter. He is so involved in the passing and running game. The offense goes through him in Minnesota. If he's not going, they're not going. He gets over 1,500 rushing yards last year, 45 receptions. This man is the entire Minnesota Vikings offense. If he does not go, they don't get the play action going. They can't get the ball deep to Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. They need Dalvin Cook. This offense runs through him. I have no problems taking him at number 2. I want him so bad on my team. This man is an absolute beast. He is a week winner. He can get you some crazy upside and win a week all by himself, and there's not a lot of running backs that could do for you. So if you have the number 2 pick, you are taking Dalvin Cook. All right, last but not least, we got our number one running back for the 2021-22 season. If you haven't guessed it yet, it's Run CMC from the Carolina Panthers. Christian McCaffrey, the absolute best running back in fantasy football maybe ever, if he has another B season like he had in 2019, because in 2019 this man got you 8 games over 30 points in PPR and 2 games over 42 points. If you had this man on your team, you definitely won a fantasy football championship in 2019. If you didn't, that is a little bit embarrassing. 2,300 yards from scrimmage in 2019, 1,300 yards on the ground, 1,000 yards through the air. He averaged you 29 PPR points if you had him this year. In 2020, unfortunately, only played 3 games, but it doesn't matter. When this man is on the field and this man is healthy, he is winning you fantasy football weeks by himself. He is the undisputed number 1 overall pick in fantasy football for the 2021-22 season. All right, everyone, that is going to do it for my top 12 running back rankings for the 2021-22 season. Comment down below what you guys thought. Do you think I got the rankings right? Who do you think I got wrong? Who should be changed in? Who should be changed out? Should some of those honorable mentions be moved into the top 12, or should some of them be moved out of the top 12? Let me know in the comments down below. If you guys did enjoy, please do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I would greatly appreciate it. If you guys want to see more fantasy football content from me, let me know also in the comments down below. What video would you guys like to see next? Would you like to see the top 12 wide receivers in fantasy football? Something like I did here, but now for wide receivers, let me know in the comments down below. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.